Hey everybody, I'm Bob Kovacs, and this is my Panasonic GH5 camera. I really like the GH5 camera. It is packed with features and makes great video. One of the interesting features that it has is called focus transitions. This allows for a cinematic focus, rack focus they call it in the industry, that looks really smooth and helps tell a story. Let's take a look at how it works. Focus transition is one of the really neat features they built into the GH5. It lets you focus from one object to another object on the screen very smoothly, just like they do in the movies. Now, you've always been able to do a focus by touching the screen on the GH5. If you touch on an object, it'll focus on that object. So right now, we're focused on this yellow Del Monte can. And if I want to focus on the Bush Beans can, all I need to do is touch it, and now the focus will change on it. And that tomato can back there, if I want to focus on it, I touch it and it focuses. But that focus is less than ideal because it hunts back and forth trying to get the right focus and then locks in on it. And it makes kind of a snapping look that is just not very attractive, especially if you have to go a big distance focusing on a far object and then a very near object. It just doesn't look very good. So to get around that, to make a more cinematic look, Panasonic came up with focus transitions. To get to focus transitions, first of all, you need to have the mode dial in the video mode. So that's the round knob on top of the camera. Be sure that's set to the video mode. Then you press the menu button to go to the camera with the M next to it. You need to go up to that and then scroll down or up until you get to focus transition. Hit the menu button to enter that, and here's where you come in. You've got focus pull setting and these other things there. Let's just work on the focus pull setting right now. So hit the menu button. To get to position number 1, it says it's not set. So let's go ahead and set it. Now you can't really see very well, but there is a focus magnification window on the screen that you can drag around. I'm going to put that on the Del Monte can, and I'm going to turn the focus ring on my camera until I see the blue peaking light up. See the blue peaking light up right there? Now, once that's all set up, now I can go ahead and press the menu button to set that. Now, you don't need to be in manual focus to enable you to do this focus transition. You can be in autofocus. In fact, my camera right now is in the autofocus mode. But when you go to focus transitions, it acts as though it's completely manual. So we now have focus position number 1 set. Now we're going to position number 2, and I'm going to drag that window over to the Bush Bean can, and I'm going to rotate the focus ring until I see the blue peaking. There you go. Now there's the blue peaking. Hit the menu button, hit it again. Now position number 2 is set. I'm going to go to position number 3, drag the focus window over to that object, and I'm going to rotate this, and you can see the blue peaking right there. Hit menu, and now all 3 of these are set. Now use the back button down here on the lower right to go back to the focus transition menu. Now if you want to adjust the focus transition speed, you can go and adjust that. Right now it's at M for medium, H is high, and SH is super high, and you've got low and super low speeds. Right now we're just going to work with the M speed. Focus transition record is position number 3, 2, or 1. What this tells the camera is that when you start doing a focus transition, you want to start it in position 1 or position 2 or position 3. I don't really care. We'll touch the screen to tell it where we want to start, so I'll leave it in off. And finally, there's a focus transition wait. Right now I've got it waiting for 5 seconds. I want to turn that off. What happens is, if you're in this focus transition time setting, if I set it for 5 seconds and I touch my next focus point, it'll wait until 5 seconds before it makes that next focus point. And if it's in the 10-second mode, obviously it'll wait for 10 seconds. But I'm going to leave that off because I'm going to do them completely manually, and I want them to make the transition when I touch it. So let's go up to start. We have everything all set. Just to check, we'll go back to the focus pull setting. Everything is all set there. I'm going to press the back button to go back to this focus transition menu, and then I'm going to press start. So right now it's focused on that distant tomato can. I'm going to want it to be focused on the close Del Monte can, the yellow can, and to get it there I'm going to touch position number 1. And see, it now adjusts its focus. It's on position number 1. to rack focus to the bush bean can, I touch position number 2. And finally, to the tomato can, I touch position number 3. Now you're going to have to touch the camera to make this work. You can either touch it using the on-screen touch points, or you can use the little joystick here that I never use to make the selection there. Either way, you're going to have to touch the camera. Unfortunately, the way this is right now, this focus transition setting is not available on remote control. And it's unfortunate because that means you have to touch the camera. So if you need to do this focus transition or rack focus, you'll have to touch it very, very lightly so that you don't get any sort of camera shake. Fortunately, the touchscreen on the GH5 is sensitive and you can usually touch it so that you don't get any shake. Now I set this up to do 3 focus points. You don't need to do that. You can only do 2 if you want. And it's a really nice cinematic tool to use with your GH5. This feature is a lot of fun to use, but I was hesitant to get started with it, thinking it was maybe more complicated than it actually turned out to be. And it's really not that hard. Hey everybody, I'm Bob Kovacs. Thanks for watching. I was a little hesitant to use focus transitions I'm having a hard time saying that. I was a little hesitant to use focus transitions because I thought I was a little hesitant to use the focus transition feature. Kitty. I was a little hesitant to use this feature even though it sounded pretty cool. I thought it was kind of complicated. But once I started using it, it's actually pretty easy. Well,